most dudes don't truly care about your past unless it's affecting this right here.
Right now. Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people? How y'all doing?
You couldn't let the process be the process. And that's the frustrating part about it, is that's when that broken person goes to another person
And
creates another broken person.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people? How y'all doing?
So, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Another day, another dollar, trying to just live this thing called life.
I would leave. I'm trying to do this thing. I'm trying to do this thing all right, too. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, trying to take things up to the next level. But, they always say trying to go to that next level is always going to be tension and controversy, things that that you actually have to start pushing harder, and things that push against you. So,
Right. I feel like the path is the resistance.
Yeah.
And the destination is the bliss.
Okay.
Because if you're going to the gym, putting up 315 and repping that out, that's resistance. That's hard.
I ain't put up 315 in a minute.
Understood. But should you try that route and get back to it, you know what I'm saying? It's a difficult test. It's a treacherous journey. But once you achieve the physique you get, when you're able to put that up on a consistent basis, or reach the fact that you can rep that.
Well, see, I'm trying to get to that, back to that point.
Understood.
Now it's like, it's like I'm trying to work out, trying to get things together, but then it's like, man, I gotta really make this happen.
Understood. Yeah. I feel you. Time puts that type of strain on people. Like, whether you're trying to increase your time or just trying to spend your time more wisely, I feel like you should look the way you want to look, feel the way you want to feel on this side.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah. While we into that, let's go ahead and jump into this topic, fam. Shooting the breeze. Why do you think men shy away from church?
Honestly, I think the reason, and there's different avenues of why men do it. I hate that men do it because, honestly, I do believe you need a little church in your life.
Yeah.
It helps out a lot of things, especially when, the stress of the day gets to you and it's like, man, you need something that's going to uplift your spirit.
Sure.
Because you can't depend on people all the time to uplift you. But I believe in God, and I believe God will always uplift you.
Right.
So, one of the reasons I think men shy away is because they've heard these old stereotypes about the pastor knocking off all his members and everything. And it's like, oh, well, if the pastor gets to knock them off, why do I need to go to church? I could go knock off some people right now.
True. Yeah. My thought process of it was a little different.
I'm just saying, you said so many different ones.
I feel you. I understand where you come from with that.
It's like everybody's like because it says in the scripture God's word is infallible, but that don't mean man is infallible. It's like, yes, as a preacher, I do believe you are talking on God's behalf at this point in time. You're the shepherd of your flock, and yes, you should be doing things in a certain light, held to a certain higher standard because you are a higher standard. But we can't sit here and act like everybody is perfect and, nobody makes no kind of issues or anything like that.
Right.
Because a lot of times everybody's like, oh, well, the pastor shouldn't cuss, the pastor shouldn't lie, pastor shouldn't steal, pastor shouldn't do this. And yes, you're right, the pastor shouldn't. But you shouldn't do that stuff too.
That's true. Yeah, trying to make the pastor infallible is not the best route. How I was going to go with this was more so from the setting. And also I was going to take it from what women are seeking.
Okay. Women
are seeking these people they believe to be leaders. You already know for a large portion, for while women are in a, prime, they aren't looking for the church-going guy. And when they get into, like, they get older, they aren't looking for people that are being led.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Men, on the other hand, this is why I feel like women's, participation in church is so great, is because men are looking for, followers, people who gonna listen to what I'm trying to do, follow me through this path, assist me, be with me, right?
Yeah.
But we hear consistently, once again, through the media, once again, through the music, the secular music, once again, through, the communities and the women out here who get a lot of airtime, a lot of time to be seen.
Okay.
The volume, the ones that talk a lot. Oh, I want the thug, I want the roughneck. Every good girl needs a bad guy. So if what you looking for don't go to church. That's the truth. What you looking for don't go there.
Yeah, that's true
too. Men are I'm trying to be a better person, spiritually, mentally, and all that. I'm going to the church to try to fix that. If you look at the especially with black men, shout out to Charlamagne God, we seek a lot of counseling from the counselors and people like that, because we've been taught on so many levels, you got to be your own solution as a man.
Yeah.
Now, I agree. We do need to find our way back to the church so we can lean on God and lean on something that has a higher power.
Yeah.
The problem is women at this current juncture aren't necessarily going to sit back and accept that a man leans on, something else to try to get. If you tell
I would say certain types of women.
Certain types of women.
Because I do know some women that are actually really God-fearing. And I'm like, that's a blessing for you to be God-fearing, because honestly, I believe God stabilizes both of you. Because for a man, even if you listen to scripture, if you listen to the word of God, let's take the man out of it. But if you listen to scripture and things like that, the Bible actually has some real good gems for you, because it's like, hey, you have to realize this walk you're walking, other people have walked this walk. Hey, there's certain things you need to know, certain things you need to understand as a man. And like, for example, one of the scriptures, God loved the church, so man should love God as that God loved the church and gave himself to the church.
Right.
As a man right now, God died, Jesus died for us.
Correct.
Every man in here, if you are married, if you have someone you love, you're not willing to die for that woman, I wouldn't really think of it as really true love. It's like, for example, my children right now, if it was between my children and me, take me every time, I'm not going to think twice about it. If it was between me and my wife, take me every single time, no matter what, because I'm willing to die on that sword for my family.
Right.
The way that God died for us.
Now, the question I have that's being posed due to the statements made is this: to have that kind of mindset, right?
Okay.
You automatically putting yourself as a sacrificial lamb, automatically putting yourself as in a high pressure state.
But I would say, as a father, isn't that what you do every day?
That is what you do. So if all the chips fall back on you, because a woman would be like, oh, I pray to God and make sure you keep my kids safe. That's why I always say the praying grandmother.
Yes.
But for every praying grandmother, you had a shotgun toting grandfather.
Exactly.
So it's like, she gonna pray and I'm gonna lay you down.
Exactly.
So,
well, we both know, because I believe that you, like that whole idea of being equally yoked is like, yes, Grandma gonna pray for you. Grandpa ain't gonna play with you.
Right.
It's like, yes, because I know the tasks that God's put before me, like my children and my wife. That's the whole idea of this whole thing. Is like He put me in charge of them to make sure they're safe, to make sure they're taken care of, provided for, and all of that. So that's my job. So that is exactly what I'm going to do.
Right. The thing about it is, I agree with what you're saying. Well, I'm also adding on to that because the question at hand is why men leaving the church. In order to be in the church, I do believe a lot of men can understand, hey, I'm a servant of God. I'm second to God. Like, I can understand that.
Okay.
A lot of the ways in which the church is set up, which the schools are set up, is not for men. Because a lot of the pastors want you to be secondary to them. The women in the church, oh, you get to shake the pastor's hand, or they'll do stuff and be more subservient to the pastor than they would to their own husband.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, women get in there, and no knock to women, but it's a lot of women who do get in the church scene, and they basically serving two masters. You serving the pastor, and you got him, you giving to him, doing for him. If he say something positive gonna happen to you, you believe it like it's your husband, on the other hand, come through and tell you, hey, I'm gonna make this happen for you, but I'm an independent woman. I can do it for myself. You're dependent in the church, but you independent at home. And it's like when you get a man, and it's like, hey, if she gonna follow them without question and she can't follow me, then what's the issue here? And then you talk about the music that's played in the church. Majority of the music that comes into the church is a romanticized version. God is my protector, provider, which he is.
Yeah.
But you're asking men who in the same Bible is telling you to be men and sacrifice yourself, be a sacrificial lamb for your family and all that, to turn around and be like,
See, I believe that part too, but a lot of people don't look at the whole thing. They hear the love part, but no, God is very wrathful. God don't play with you. It's like, hey, I'm playing with, hey, we cool, but I ain't about to play with you. So, it's like, and there's too many scriptures, too many things. Like, remember, flooding the earth, man. Hold up, you turn somebody into a donkey and made them eat grass because they pissed you off. Oh, you had people killed. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say to contradict anything. It's just like, it's almost like when they try to tell you about, oh, as a man, these are the great things about men, but you don't tell the other side about men. Or as a woman, oh, you give all the great, oh my God, these are the most beautiful things about women. Once you get married, you realize, hey, it's two sides of that coin.
And the thing about it is, they trying to take the masculinity out of the Bible.
Yeah.
Like, they've gone so far to say that the Bible is toxic masculinity. Anytime, like, people don't want to talk about revelations. People don't want to talk, like, all the stuff where it's like, you do this, God will react in this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare that you're going to get the pastor up there telling you that. Like, you're not, and I understand because most of your congregation is women and you're trying to tell them you need to be accountable. You need to be accountable. You need to be accountable. Because if you do this, he going to do that.
Yeah.
You keep sinning, you going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a pastor come in every Sunday and tell you that, like, a dude would be like, yeah, because in real life, you could be in hell on earth, man.
That's true.
Don't pay your bills, they're going to kick you out. That's a hellish existence to sit out here, especially in the summer sun with excessive
115.
Right. Excessive heat warmth, that's hell, fam.
Mm-hmm.
You need to you going to eat from the sweat of your brow. Men are willing to sweat on a consistent basis to keep that AC and keep their family in good shape. but we also have extreme accountability. You've been taught that, and that's been inbred in you since the beginning, and it's a high level of independence, like forced into men, and it's not from a standpoint of like, I'm going to say I'm independent, or no. You have to rely on yourself so heavily and believe in yourself so heavily. Yeah. And then when you go to church, they want you to dial back your level of independence. But God allowed me to be independent and still be a servant. Like, I can still be a servant.
And I agree with that. I think one of the reasons I was also thinking about it is because church, for the most part, caters to women more than men. It's like, oh, well, you know, the women singing in the choir, the women, deaconesses, all those kind of things. Like, don't get me wrong, there are deacons in the church that do very well in the church. But that's also one of the things is because as a dude, it's just not a real task or something for me to do here. Is like,
I'm not going to create one.
Yeah,
I got a lot of stuff to do, fam. I'm busy.
Yeah.
So, we need to get this done. Once I complete them tasks, I'm not looking to you to get an additional task. You need to have that task when you prepare, because I still got to go home and deal with my family and make sure they good. I still need to go to my job, make sure that's good. And ain't nobody finna pay the way for me. Nobody's finna.
That is why I think there are men that become deacons. That's why they stay in the church more, because it's like, okay, I got a task here. Yeah. This is what I got to do. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to make sure this is in order. This is set. This is done. Because you have things that you could actually do. So for men that actually don't have nothing to do here except, yes, I can hear a good word. Thank you. I appreciate the word. Right. Okay, it helps.
I can get that from YouTube.
Exactly. And then that's exactly what, well, I could have got that there and been sitting at my house. And then have to drive this 35 minutes to this church. I ain't have to waste no gas. So, you know, maybe I should just stayed at home.
Right.
So I guess the reason why I think a lot of men are pulling away from church like that is because of the fact that it's like they're not finding the substance that they need.
They're not finding the purpose.
Okay.
A woman can find purpose in mess. Like, oh, such and so, no, she shouldn't have wore that dress. It's a social event. I can chat it up with my homegirls. It's going to the club, but it's patinaed in Christianity, and you don't drink at the end. Like, no, we did a good thing. We was at church today, but you've been talking about everybody in the congregation all day. Mm-hmm. You had something to say about every person that walked in. I can literally go into a church, hold hands with a homeless man, pray, say something positive about everybody in the room, not think about anybody in the room. My purpose is get this word. Yeah. Once I get this word, I'm out. Unless you got something you need from me. You tell me there's a men's conference and we going to be talking about building something or making something, you have to give me purpose. And I feel like a lot of pastors are taking away purpose and injected more of, I'm going to teach you how to keep your man. I'm going to teach you how to be independent. I'm going to teach, I'm going to teach you, or they play into the mess. Be like, oh, you can't be in the congregation and sleep with the congregation. So what they do is now the men don't come to church so they can still sleep with the men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What I feel like it's a supply and demand issue. Women are demanding dudes who don't fit the church going profile. They don't fit that.
Yeah.
That's what, and because of that, men are supplying that in excess. Like, oh, if that's what you want, if that's what the demand is, if you want the dope boy, if you want the club girl, if you want the one that's flying fresh and all that, if you want the dude pants hanging on my backside, dreaded out, smoking weed, and pull up on the rims and all that, they don't really like me smelling loud when I come up here into the church. They don't want me smelling loud like that.
Sure.
But you as a female, especially the younger females, this day and age, want a dude that's gonna smoke them out.
Yeah.
They want to do that's gonna fly them out.
Yeah. Do all the things that you're not supposed to do.
You want a secular man.
Mm-hmm.
But men, on the other hand, we want a Christian woman. We want a woman with Christian values. Hey, hold yourself for marriage. Hey, we want to put we put value on the stuff that's difficult to do.
Like, one of the things I was thinking about is because most men, here, how they're set up is like, I'm either in or out. It's like, I'm not going to play and toe the line. Yes. I see a lot of ladies that toe the line. You be in the club on Saturday, go right to church on Sunday. I've seen it where women will go out, be out to 12, 1 o'clock, then get up 9 o'clock at Sunday school. I'm like, okay. And I'm going to church. And I'm like, oh, okay. But for most guys, it's like, honestly, partly I think is how we look at it as God. Is like, I got enough respect for the man to not be like, I'm gonna be knocking old girl off, because I definitely want to knock old girl off tonight. But then early this morning, I'm in here crying and talking about, Lord, forgive me. Bruh, hey, if she called me back over next week,
I'm gonna come back over next week. But that's the thing. You illustrated it perfectly. I'm not gonna have dude. If you find a dude that's in church and really in church, then I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna make a righteous woman out of this one. I'm gonna do everything necessary to keep that working, right?
Yeah.
When you initiate yourself into a church family, that church family is gonna make requests, especially of men, that they don't necessarily make of the women.
Very true.
Yeah. Hey, young lady, go ahead, go join the choir and be a praise dancer. Hey, man, we gonna have us a youth initiative to where we need to do some outreach in these communities. Hey, the pastor's going to a spot over in Mississippi that ain't necessarily too fond of black people. We need some people that's willing to put your hand. Yeah. You gotta, if you're gonna be in the church,
altar needs to be worked on. Yeah. Plumbing is backed up.
Electric. Mm-hmm. When you become a man of the church, you become a man of the church. Yeah. And all the women in the congregation need something from the man, because the roof is coming down. We need somebody who know how to put it up. Well, the type of work I do, I know how to patch a roof. I know how to popcorn a ceiling. I know how to do a lot of this man stuff. That's why I go to a lot of churches and you'll see stuff like water leaks and stuff like that coming out the roof. Yeah. Because the men have been pushed out because you've been trying to tell them, be third to the pastor. Okay, because you already second to God and you accepted the second to God. Yeah. We gonna sit here and sing loving and all this, the whole Congress, we're gonna sing that all day. Yeah. That's what we're gonna sing. And you need to be okay with it. But when we need you, we gonna ask you to do it. We gonna ask you to do it for free. Yeah. Pastor drive Rolls Royce. You go over there getting your Traverse over there. Mm-hmm. And Honda. Go get in your Honda, but the pastor don't need to plunge no toilets. That's what got you for. Yeah. Since I ain't never been in a space where another man can reach something that I can't reach. Yeah. I can reach God just like the pastor, fam. You can tell me all you want to tell me about, hey, he's speaking directly to God. No. God speak to him, God speak to me. He ain't made not one man on this earth more important to me outside of Jesus. Yeah. And he died already.
He's supposed to be coming back.
And when he come back, if we gonna go join his congregation, I'll be third. When Jesus come back, I'll be third. But as far as the pastor, nah, bro, he ain't put in that high level of work to be who he ain't walked on water yet. Me and the pastor used to hit the same clubs, man. And I understand that there's really on that, you can be Jesus everywhere but Nazareth. But the thing about it is, you ain't Jesus, fam. Yeah. So
it's different things that I know that men pull away from. Yeah. But then it's also one of the main things, and this will be my last one. Mm-hmm. the timing is on Saturday, and dudes be like, oh, Super Bowl, oh, football, oh, man, this is like 45, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, my mama go to church from like 9 o'clock to like 2. I'm like, man, I don't want to be in church that long.
But when she going, you got to understand. Whereas you went, your initial reason for going to church was to be closer to God and get that word, right?
Yeah.
So, just like you do shopping, which I tell people all the time, men are loyal to brands, men are loyal to barbers, men are loyal to a lot of things.
Yeah.
When I go here, it's purposeful. Once I achieve what I intend to achieve, once I walk in the store and I buy the polo shirt, in my case, the black tee, I'm out. I'm not walking aisles. I don't care. I got a purpose. I got it. But, you know, and I love Mama Hicks. This is not a knock in any way. This ain't no... Your mama go to church to get the word and to socialize. Yeah. My friends are at the church. I probably talk directly to the pastor, and we got a relationship, a jovial, joking relationship. The deacons, I know the deacons personally. I know their kids. I'm asking how their kids doing.
Yeah.
When was the last time you went to church and actually asked anybody what they doing? How they do? I've never.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I walk into the church. I sit in my seat. I listen to the word. If it moves me, it moves me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then once I get the word, whatever the message was for the day, I'm not finna amp the pastor up to make him more important to me. He's not more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold my Bible. When they say pray and close your eyes, I'm gonna close my eyes because God's more important to me.
Yeah.
When you talking about Jesus, I'm gonna respect that. Jesus is more important to me. If you want to tell me that the pastor, nah. And don't get me wrong. I understand he's a man who moves with purpose.
Yeah.
But so do I. My family is my purpose.
100% agree.
So if you're willing to lay down your life, I'm willing to lay down my life too.
Yeah.
Me and the pastor equals. And then also, like I said, you need to work on how you present the church to men. Because if you presenting it as if, and it's crazy because, you know, the bishop, Don Juan, and pimping and all that, it's one pimp and a lot of women in his stable. You need to stop presenting church as if you a pimp, fam. Real talk.
Yeah. And then, you know, you ever notice sometimes, like when you hear the pastor preach and stuff, they give you that slick, almost like pimp talk.
Yeah.
It's like, hold up, I'm like,
bro.
Like, what you do before you were a pastor?
What I'll be talking, and it's crazy, and bro, if I go to a church, I prefer to go to a more Caucasian church, or more white church, man.
Why you say that?
Bro, it understands men. I came for the message. They'll have the message bullet pointed up there. This is what I'm finna say. It's timed. Boom, 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 boom. All right, you got it? Cool. No, ma'am. You're not finna get up here and sing no solo and go over. We don't need your high notes today. The performance is planned. When he hits that last cymbal, we are done with that. Choir chorus is over. They respect your time. Mm. The most insulting thing I find at black churches specifically is, y'all don't hear me. Give me a minute. I'm almost done. No, bro. No, you ain't finna be preaching to me on CP time. You need to reach your message, bro. Get to your message, bro. Bullet point. I was reading this, and I know I went off and deviated, but let me get back. No, stop deviating.
Nah, you ever heard the one where he was like, I know I'm over my time, but you know I gotta make sure I give you this word, and then you hear somebody say, "Go ahead, Pastor."
Yeah,
hey, bro.
Where I sit, that's inefficient preaching. Picture if you go up to a McDonald's or a Burger King, and they like, I know I'm overcooking your fries. Keep going, cook. No, you finna burn my fries. Stop. Stop. Get to the message. I don't need the show and all that for me to go. Like, I guarantee you, you want men to start going to church, black men, start going to these white folk churches, man. No, this is, like, it's all love. And I say white folk church, but it's some Hispanic churches. It's a lot of other churches. Go to some of them. Not, it might seem like I'm trying to take money out of these pastors' pockets, but I'm really not, because you weren't going to church anyway.
Yeah.
So now you get to go to church, get your message, and get out, if that's what you want. Or if you listening and you focused in on what people want, we telling you what people want. Don't get me wrong, I still go to the black church because I support,
Don't get me wrong. I shout out to Concord. I actually do like their pastor. He actually does give a real good word, and he's not trying to overdo it and just keep going. It's like, hey, I got my time. We're going to hit this time. We're going to be out.
Right.
I got another service, so I'm not about to play with y'all because they going to come in. And I can't be like, oh, well, man, I couldn't help but, man, the Spirit moved me to preach another hour and a half.
No. See, what I would prefer pastors do is product development. Okay, for all those who want to get in, get out, get in, get the message, and get out, your service time is from here to here. For those who want, a more choir-driven type preaching experience, you the next service. For those of you who want me to come up here and just, if I feel it, I'm going to go, your time is from here until. You understand that I'm going to be here doing this until I get tired. You can feel free to walk out if you just, but I'm not going to stop because I'm doing this until I feel like quit. You service all three groups. I guarantee you, men going to be showing up to church early. They're going to be like, oh man, my church time from 6 to 7. A dude will wake up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, get out the way.
I'm going up here. He going to say what he need to say. If it move me, cool. If you do a good enough job the way you really move me, I might even stay for that second service just so I can get some of the choir with it too. However, I guarantee you, as far as your participation or head count, that third service is going to be all women.
Yeah.
Because they come here to socialize. You're going to be preaching. I can still be talking to sister such and so, and I'm going to go talk to deacon this and that. And know your customer. They just say they did poor research and development when it came to that. I'm sorry. I'm not the pastor right now. I'm running over. I'm going to get to my point.
God is trying to tell you
really
something.
What are some ways we can reduce status quo bias in our relationships? And is it beneficial in some cases? Just for those who don't know what status quo bias is perceiving any change or deviation from the norm as undesirable. I'll give you an example. When a woman hits you with that line, this is how you met me. Oh man, because I've seen some, with men tapping into our feelings and being more vocal about how we feel in our, in our relationships. We'll hit you, well, you can't expect me to change overnight. This is how you met me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're requesting more of him or if you're requesting more of her, instead of adapting and moving with the times.
I think this is, okay, I think for the most part, if you get into a relationship, yes, you should know who you got into a relationship with. But that should be the base level, not the highest level.
Right.
Like, base level, this is what you got. This is who I am. Base level. Now, if you're not growing in those levels, it's an issue. It's like, oh, that's like saying, hey, I want to get a house. But we're going to get this starter home where it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, all that kind of stuff. But we don't ever want to come out and get a 3-bedroom.
You don't ever want to reach that?
We don't want a 4-bedroom with nothing. Like, you don't want a garage. You don't want all this other stuff.
That's like if you logged into Netflix and they never put new movies or new series and none of that on there, You bought Netflix because it had your favorite show on there.
Yeah.
And you watched reruns for so long, but eventually you're going to want some new content.
Exactly. But that's with everything. It's like we have to learn, we have to grow as people. Like you have to grow in relationships.
Right.
A relationship can't stay the same. Like, okay, for example, when it comes to, there are a lot of girls that were like, and you remember back in the day, it was like, when I get married, I could cut loose and do certain things because, that's my husband. I want to do more for my husband.
Right.
And that's great as long as those are your actual intentions. Because I believe as your husband, yes, I get better privileges than what I got at boyfriend status.
Exactly.
So
because you get better.
Yes. And you should want better and get better. So if you're sitting here saying boyfriend status, this is what we got. This is what we do. Okay, this is boyfriend, girlfriend status. When we get to marriage status, you can't be like, we did boyfriend, girlfriend. No. We husband and wife status now. So since we husband and wife status, we both gonna have to elevate this game.
Right. My thing is, women are very accepting of upping their output when extras added on. You have kids, a woman will, hey, I know I need to figure out this, or I know I need to do that, because I know I'm gonna have to wipe some butts, I know I'm gonna have to clean some dirty noses, I know. And they're willing to adapt to that because it's something new introduced.
Yeah.
But if your man is giving you quality service, or if your woman is giving you quality service, I feel like on the wedding day, like the honeymoon, the only thing that shouldn't, like, don't tell me that, we went and had sex and now, that's the honeymoon. No. If you at this time in this area, you've been having sex a long time.
Yeah.
When you jump that broom or you say I do, what you need to be saying I do to is I agree. I got to step it up. Ain't nobody going from pee-wee to middle school, high school, college level, then to the NFL playing at pee-wee level.
True. But a lot of time people will stay in pee-wee level because they're like, it's comfortable here.
And wonder why you don't ever get the ring.
Yeah.
You never reach Super Bowl level.
You never reach the pros because you're too busy thinking pee-wee elite.
You too busy.
Pop Warner.
Yeah, you still expect everything to hit the same.
Yeah.
You expect to get tackled by a 6-year-old and that's a 25-year-old man.
I remember it just like this. When I was in pee-wee, I was always the bigger one, so I'd be over there hitting people.
Yeah,
it was like, I'm going to just run over people and stuff like that.
You don't need a reality check.
When I got into high school, it was this dude, I wanted his position. We were both trying to play for nose guard. He was the starting nose guard. His name was Big Kurt.
Oh, you know he did.
Yeah, it's like, man, so they were like, you want the position? Then I was like, Coach, I want the position. He's like, okay. Head up with him. Like, okay. Okay, so I'm like, okay. Literally, I'm a sophomore. He a senior. I'm like, okay, bet. Go head up with him. I'm like, he ain't that much bigger than me. I'm like, if I get in there good, all I got to do is pop him before he pop me. Man, Big Kurt popped me so hard. I literally saw stars, and I was like, and I ain't never been a small dude, but Big Kurt was
a big dude.
And I'm like, you want to try again? I'm like, I'll try again.
Cause you got hard.
Yeah, I always got hard, but I'm like, I see why Big Kurt got his spot.
But that's the thing. A lot of people get hit that first time and quit.
Yeah.
A lot of relationships are soon as we hit that hurdle, we quit. We stop. No, I'm not. That's too high.
Yeah.
Big Kurt hit too hard. You want to try it again? No. Last time I got demolished. Where would I go?
Mm-hmm.
It take heart to be in a relationship. It's a lot of heartless people out here. That's why you got all these people on social media telling you, "Oh, it's no benefits to marriage," because you heartless, fam. You ain't got no heart. It got hard, and you quit. You want your man to have money and be able to buy you all kinds of stuff because you know a dude with money makes life easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's harder to go and get you a man and introduce him to new revenue streams because you can talk to more people than he can. Because he probably busy working, or if you got a dude like me, the look I'm giving off, the energy I give off when I walk in the room ain't really the friendliest energy.
Yeah.
Granted, if you get to know me, I'm cool, but it's hard to get to know me.
It's very true. I mean,
so my wife a social butterfly. Just go up and say hi to her. You ain't gonna say you a friend, but you a decent associate. With me, just reaching associate status is like climbing Mount Everest. But once you get on top, you on top. If you call,
once you get there, you're there.
If you called me at 2 a.m, what I'm gonna do?
You gonna come?
I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
You had to put in work to get there though. It was a lot of nights where I'm starving, he bringing the chicken. It's a lot of nights where I ain't got nowhere to sleep, eating off of the couch. It's a lot of nights where shit, my tire done fell off my car, and this is the only dude I can call because he.
Yeah.
But once you got there, it's reverse. Hey, bro, if you ever need something, you call me. I'm gonna go get it.
And I appreciate that, but that's the work you put in.
That's the work.
When you put in real work, you get real outcomes.
You're gonna get real outcomes.
But the issue that we have nowadays is we think we can play the system.
Nobody want to sweat.
Yeah, nobody want to work for it. It's like, no. Hey, you should be happy with here. It's like, hold up. What about all this? What about all the benefits that we can have? Oh, well, that's a lot of work. What you gonna do?
You don't want to insert or exert yourself to do more for somebody because you don't want to have to continue that. Yeah. You don't want to put in the work to really. Yeah, you don't want to put in the work to get the true value out of nobody because you're comfortable. Bro, I'm comfortable keeping you at arm's length. I don't want to bring nobody in to deal with the loss of that person. I don't want to. It's what you said a couple episodes back. Everybody waiting on the shoe to drop. There's the other shoe. You already took one shoe out because you expect less of me from jump. You just waiting for confirmation bias to confirm that I'm not who I said I was. That's what you waiting on.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Oh, I agree.
Well, while you go do that, I'm gonna jump into this next topic and I'm gonna start it off. He gonna finish. He gonna come in a second. Don't worry about it. All right. So, in fact, I'm gonna start doing my shout out for you won't believe this. You won't believe this is brought to you by. I'm gonna let him do the My Beautiful Wife part because that's actually his beautiful wife. I'm gonna jump it off with D-Mac. He's a barber. Tyler Bailey. Luxury Clothes by a Luxury Guy. He's made clothes for the likes of T-Pain, Wendy Williams, and a multitude of other artists, very notable names. And they enjoy wearing the clothes. Like I said, it is a luxury brand. So you'll be paying a pretty penny, but the quality, I'm telling you, is exceptional. It's beyond what you would get from, your local Nike store, right? Or your local... Well, your local, it's not that. This is on the lines of like your Gucci's and your Pradas and all that. He's hand picking the fabrics. He's hand drawing out the designs. He's going out and meeting manufacturers in person to have these things put together to meet his standard of quality. It's different. I'm telling you, it's different because it is different. My cousin Mike, they call him Wiggly in these game spaces. He does State of Being. It's a podcast. That podcast it talks about a multitude of topics. Right now, I mean, it's been transforming since it. He went from video game talking about life to now he's been on opposition and opposing those viewpoints that may not be, beneficial to us as a people. And now he's on to helping the environment and how we can do better for, us all, our communities, as well as our kids. So that's that. I already spoke about DMAC. I'm jumping into You Won't Believe This with the advertising.
Oh, okay.
So I already did mine. I shout out who I'm shout out. I'm gonna come back and do the shout out for us, which is something for people.
Okay.
But go ahead.
As always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. Check out Traces Like Mine. You can go to traceslikeMine.com. They have waist beads, ankles, bracelets, thigh chains, waist beads, all different types of things you need. Glorifying glitter, make your body look right for your man too. Yanni Like Mine, ladies. If you don't know what your Yanni is, look it up. It does not take care of itself. And also, my mind is
Like Mine.
I did Traces. That's what it was. Traces Like Mine. This is a hair care product for black women, by black women. Blah. So, I know we go out, a lot of times women always say there's not things in the store for them. Please, try it out. Tell me what you think about it.
Top notch. And as always, the people we really need to shout out, the people who really putting this thing together for you right now is myself and Big Country, and we are known as something, number 4, DA people. You can find us on almost every podcasting platform. On top of that, we're on Fanbase. We want to run those numbers up. You can find us on YouTube, which is probably where you're watching us right now. And if you're on YouTube or you want to introduce somebody else to the podcast you're watching currently, go ahead and tell them something, the number 4, DA people. And if they put podcast at the end of that, that's going to minimize those search results. Like, share, comment. If you're on the podcast, go ahead and give us that 5-star rating. And then if you want to leave a comment, we do talk back to people. That's what we do. It's about the people. It's something for the people. We're going to do it for the people.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. All right. Now, for what you've all been waiting for. You won't believe this. Chicago mother files a lawsuit after murder charges against her and her son get dropped in the restaurant shooting. I'm sure most of you have seen the video. There's a man. He's explaining to the woman that, hey, be quiet. If you say another thing to me, he gonna pop off. She, of course,
ran him out.
Engaged in that altercation, and that led to her son coming in with a gun and shooting the man down. Right? I mean, granted, she was being assaulted by the man.
We're gonna get into it.
We're gonna dive into it. But go ahead. How you feeling about it?
Okay. See, here's the thing, and don't get me wrong. I don't believe no man should put his hands on a woman, but I don't believe no woman should put her hands on a man neither. Right. Let's get that understood. So the thing is, this man gave you warning and told you. And I know somebody's going to say, what if your mother was there? My mother wouldn't have been in that situation because my mother would have been like, hey, this man threatened me. So, A, if he is about that life, let me go get my man to handle this. Not, I'm going to finish saying what I got to say because I want to say what I want to say and he going to listen to what I got to say. Ma'am, don't get me wrong. You do have the right to say what you want to say. But please, don't put yourself in harm's way for that. Yeah. It's like, I have to say this. No, you don't. You wanted to say it. And then after the man threatened you, you still decided, hey, I'm going to say it. And like I said, what the man did, slapping her, dead wrong. He was 100% wrong on slapping her. Now, what comes up after that, she's dead wrong. Because we're not going to act like, oh, well, he just came in to defend his mama. No, his mother called him and told him to come in. He didn't just randomly come in. And then on top of that, if I call, if my mama called me and come in, where I get the heat from? Not one person asked, where you get this gun from? Not one person.
No.
So you had the strap on you
The whole time.
the whole time. So you knew if you called your son what he was going to do.
Pressure.
You knew this.
Yep.
And I'm like, maybe because I'm a father, or maybe because I'm a man. Like, no. I'm going to react to the situation as it comes. But you knew, hey, I would never call my son or my daughter to come in to defend me, especially at a young age. Now, if my son or my daughter, like 20 years old, 30, somewhere in there, some kind of stuff like that, maybe. Like, yes, if, let's say I'm in my 50s and my daughter is in her 20s and some young little girl come pop off to me and everything, hey, baby, daddy trying not to go to jail.
But you already know, you in your 50s, the first thing your daughter gonna hit you, you ain't gonna talk to my dad. And
Exactly.
And then you gonna go from, I could have possibly gone to jail to now I'm trying to stop y'all from having this fisticuffs. Because at age 50, first of all, at the age of 35, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's what she should have thought before she started popping up. I have to say this, and he has to listen. He don't have to listen.
Yes.
Is it going to benefit you in any way for him to hear this out? Because the way he's acting is not going to alter the situation.
Like, the man was stupid for what he did.
Right.
Still don't believe his life should be taken for
Not
it.
at all.
But now, back to it. Boy has gun. Boy pulls gun out, shoots the man. Not one time, but multiple times. As they're running away, and the mother's like, keep firing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, keep firing. You just shot the man. One bullet can put any man down.
Yeah.
If you hit him in the right spot, he ain't gonna get up. Lil Wayne told you that. But you fire off multiple shots. I do not believe the boy should be charged, but I do believe the mother should be charged.
Yeah.
Because you instigated the situation.
And you gave instruction. By her giving instruction, it shows intent.
Yeah.
If that child had shot that one, well, not shot the one, but that child had shot that man, and then he had stopped, right?
Yeah.
Then okay, I could see a call for. I was in fear for my life. I was in fear for my mother's life. I shot to stop the threat.
Yeah.
Once she said keep shooting, that was intent. So she was telling him to shoot with intent to kill. She basically told him stopping him is not enough. Ending his life is what I seek.
Yes.
That's what she's saying.
And I know somebody's gonna try to find how can you assume that? Because you shot. Everyone here knows when you pick up a gun and you shoot somebody, again, you know what this bullet can do. One bullet. One.
Right.
But multiple times, how many dudes you know and got hit multiple times in the chest or in the back and just getting up? You don't hear that. It's like that doesn't happen. You got vital organs. But on top of that, y'all running out. And I'm like, again, I do not believe the boy should be charged because he's defending his mother and trying to do what his mother says. But now, you both get brought up on murder charges.
Mm-hmm.
You offended that you got brought up on murder charges. Now, maybe if he slapped you and you pulled out a gun yourself and shot him dead, okay, I could see how you offended because I was defending myself. But now, you trying to sue Chicago for them bringing you up on murder charges.
Which is a reasonable assessment to the situation, being that there is a man who is dead. we have to take this to trial because there's a body to account for.
Yeah.
There's no way that dude's family is just going to let you kill him and walk away scot-free without at least having somebody. We need to investigate and figure out what really took place and was that a justified kill.
I don't know if the man has kids, but you just made a child fatherless.
You made a wife a widow.
Yeah. Like, again, not condoning one thing this man did. Because, yes, you could have a stressful day, but you should not take that out on the people around you.
Right.
But there's a difference between assault and murder. Murder, you can't come back from. Assault, you can come back from. If I punch my co-host in the face,
yeah. we gonna
fight. Yeah.
However, we most likely we gonna come back and be like, it's cool. You know
okay, it's a day. But if I take out a gun
and pop me,
like, bro, it's over.
Somebody coming for you though. I'm letting you know right
that's
somebody better avenge me. Cause I ain't did nothing.
Like, that makes no sense for you to murder someone. And you could say, oh, well, he's stronger than her or all this other stuff. But we have to be fair here. Because we keep talking about we fought for equality, we fought for all these things, but then when it comes to the ramifications of anything, it's not equal. We can only be equal when it benefits one side.
Right.
So if our laws are made for all of us, which they should be, then everybody should be held to the same accountability. So, like, for example, switch the whole scenario. Because we've seen women slap men all the time.
It's a running thing on any social media platform. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay, if man's talking trash to the woman, and the woman's like, hey, you say another word, I'm going to slap you. And you know, if the dude says something, she hauls off and slaps him. Does that give him a right or anyone else the right to take her life away? Because that's the same thing that happened.
I'll tell you, and I know there's some people who, there's one person in particular who wouldn't like me to bring up this incident, but it is what it is. At the Oscars, when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, a lot of people were saying that Chris Rock was the problem. A lot of women were saying that Chris Rock was the problem because Chris Rock has been making jokes about her, and Will Smith was defending her honor, right?
Okay.
Now, if Chris Rock decided to on stage at the Oscars, pull a gun out, bust Will, boom, 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 shoot Will Smith down, do you think Chris Rock would be a free man right now?
Nope.
Because they gonna base it on the grounds, Chris Rock, did you really fear for your life? And you be like, you assaulted me. And granted, we talk about the man who played Ali.
Yeah.
So I could justify, like, for nothing else, he trained enough fighting to be in a movie to play one of the greatest fighters to ever walk this earth. Yeah. So he probably got far more hand skills than me. I probably couldn't take him in a physical fist to cuff. So yeah, I feel it for my life. That's why I shot him down. But you have to literally put yourself in a inverse relationship to where I'm so outmatched to where I can fear it. Most people don't. That's why I tell people all the time, you gotta stop with that facade of a safe place for a man. But because you are always viewed as an aggressor, especially if you're black. You're always viewed as an aggressor, barbaric, you hyper-masculine, hyper-sexualized, and you can never be the villain. Like, you can never be the victim. You can only be the victim. Like the
villain.
You can only be the villain. So, no matter what that man did, she could have literally had the gun out in her hand while he's having that conversation. He could have said, if you say one more thing, I'm going to swing on you. And he lunged forward and she shot him. Never been touched, never been assaulted. But he should have never leaned forward. As a man, you have to take extreme accountability. That's the problem. Like, it's not the problem. That's how the world should work. But I'm telling you, a man who is not in control of his emotions is you a dead man.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And the world is going to justify whatever comes to you in negative.
But that's the thing that this world has to understand. And I hate when people keep trying to say we're equal. We're not. No matter how you want to look at it, no matter how you want to believe, we're not. Because as a woman, you can be irrational. You can think emotional. You can say the things that you want to say, and nobody judge you. There's a lot of black women out here that are very homophobic, that talk bad about all the LGBTQ plus and all that kind of stuff, but you don't ever hear about them getting canceled.
Right.
Now, as a man, you have to control your emotions. Because I know, yes, if I really want to hit somebody, I could kill somebody.
Yeah.
But there's going to be accountability for that.
Right.
It's like, you look at you. You look at your size. Do you honestly think this is going to end well for you?
Right.
And as I've always been taught, and I've said this a couple of times, emotional men or emotional boys become emotional men. Emotional men only end up either dead or in jail.
That's it. There's no other place for you. Like, even as a boxer, where your job is to literally punch other people, you have to have a certain level of control.
Yeah.
You have to have control in every aspect of your life. As a man, there's no space for you to act irrational. There's no space for you to lose your mind. There's no space for any of that, because they gonna measure you by what you do. Period.
Yeah.
Like how the city girls say, period. Men live the real period. Okay? They will end your sentence before your book. They will. Chapter 1 will be your final chapter if you get out of line as a man.
Very true.
So, like I said, if I need to talk to somebody, I'll go see my therapist. But when I'm out here in the real world, the regular world, because I know how people see me, because and don't be like, oh, he just has this negative perception of people. I don't have a negative perception of people. I have a realistic expectation of how people move, because they move this way with me on multiple occasions. My hypothesis as a child was, I'm a black man, they're going to treat me different because I am a black man. And society has turned that hypothesis and theory into
like
work. Like, that is true. This is just as true as baking soda and vinegar have a chemical reaction. If a man is unruly, especially a black man, he is subject to anything that comes to him, and it will be justified. Rodney King get beat by the police. George Floyd get choked out by Shaboom. Trayvon Martin gets shot down. If you black, and in Trayvon case, in Trayvon case, I can't even say that he was acting unruly. He was, in my opinion, if the cops tell you don't go and you don't stand down, then you ask for that ass whooping.
Yeah. And you should have went to jail.
You should have went to jail. But that's me, and I'm gonna leave that in the past. Like I said, a man, if you're gonna be anything as a man, be consistent and control your emotions.
Look at it like this. And
we're gonna close.
I'll say it like this. As men, I won't just say as black men, but as men, we walk through this world with no safety net. Understand, there is no real net under you. If you mess up, you messed up. That's it. You got to deal with what comes after the fall. Now, I understand that everybody wants to talk about equality and being fair, but if we're going to be fair, either we got to take them safety nets away from everyone, or everybody should have a little bit of a safety net.
Agrees.
And I'm like, was I wrong for hitting someone? Yes. That don't mean my life should be ended by somebody that wasn't even in the altercation.
Eric Garner. Am I wrong for selling Lucy's? Selling a little cigarette? Yeah, probably. I mean, the corner store do it, but if I sell it on my pack, you don't like me doing that because you can't tax it. Okay. Do I deserve to be put in a headlock and choked out? Nah. Probably not. No, I don't think a 50-cent Lucy is worth my life, man.
Yeah.
All right. We're going into just so you know, we're gonna have to let's try to keep this one relatively short, young ladies. The big issue with taking positive minority role models off television and media. So why do we view this as such a big issue?
The big issue is because television is programming. Like, that's why I tell television programs in the beginning. We call television programs. So, these are what you watch, as we've seen, influences you. When you took all the minority fathers out there that were being fathers, like the whole Huxtables, the Family Matters, Fresh Prince, all those kind of things.
Parenthood.
Yes. Like, when you actually took those things off the air, you took away from young boys and young girls, seeing what father figures could be, seeing what families could possibly be. It's like, everybody was like, oh yeah, I want to have a family marriage as a family. Oh, they all love each other. Don't get me wrong. They had issues just like everybody else. But you could see more. Now, all of a sudden, what you see on TV, name one program, name one television show where it's like depicts a real minority family.
I'm going to go even further. Let's go into this whole, how they title it, reality TV, which we've all come to the understanding is fake. So, you got instances where the infamous Ray J with the head twisting and, you chopping that up and making that something that it's not real. He don't react that way to everything. Safari at random at a poker game want to pick up a chair and throw it because he's upset. Unstable, male, and you're programming other people to react this way. So now, and then you don't represent the majority, because most of the homes that contain minority men are not broken. We're involved in our kids' lives on a consistent basis. So you sitting back and here, you displaying this, and like you said, you telling a vision and programming the kids and the future generations to expect this, right? When you take away the TV role models, the positive minority role models, male role models from it, you remove that as a viable option for that kid. A lot of people, like when Tupac said we ain't ready to have a black president, right?
Yeah.
When we had one, now it is, that's a vision. I can see that. If a kid come up to you and tell you, oh, I want to be the president and that of a minority, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's possible. I've seen it done.
Yeah.
He was on TV a whole bunch of times, giving a whole bunch of speeches and doing what he was doing. It gave us that understanding that we can reach those peaks. We can get to those points. So if you, every time you show, and then the crazy thing about it is we're using the people that people find, the famous people. We're using the people that people find interesting. Yeah. So you telling me that the dude who's singing One Wish out here charging every female up that he meet, throwing drinks in their faces and all kinds of stuff like that, that's how he moved? And he ascended to that level?
Yeah.
And
see, again, the whole idea of programming. When you program something, you program it to do something.
Right.
That's what it does, what you programmed it to do. Mm-hmm. So if all we're here showing, and I know somebody's going to say, well, that's just entertainment. They shouldn't take it that way. But you're programming them to do it. If I see something that's like, how many times because this has been, a study's been proven, children now today don't fear things as much as my generation, my parents' generation. Why? Because they see it all the time. You remember when you used to watch a scary movie and you'd be like,
A little jumpy.
Yeah, you a little, like, little kids now don't jump. Little kids, okay.
Watch another one.
Oh, you could see Saul get chop people up, mess people, skin people, rip people's lips off, jaws out, all kinds of stuff. And then I'm like, you don't think that has some type of programming on your child? So, now when you come to fathers, when you come to minorities and things like that, you don't see none of them on there. The last network that had them on there was UPN, and that went out in like 2003.
Yeah.
Like Malcolm and Eddie, like all these different things. Okay, Living Single. Living Single was a top-rated show. Nobody beat them in their own field, but they got canceled. Right. They were showing successful men, successful women, actually coming together. They're not acting ignorant, all these crazy, wild things, but they got canceled. But yet, we could have all this ignorant stuff. Like, I hate my wife and kids. Because Damon Wayans tried to put tried to bring it back a little, but he made him and the child so stupid that he was like, bro, what is this? Your wife's nagging all the time, complaining about everything. Your daughter, she want to be fast and all this other kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to you and your child, your son dumb as a box of rocks, which we might as well say he had mental disability.
At that point, yeah.
Like,
but wasn't it too? Because it was the original son that had more sense, right?
No.
The same one was the same one from the beginning of the show?
Okay, so they had the daughter. The daughter's the only one that switched up. The son was the same one.
Okay.
Since the beginning of the show.
Okay.
The oldest daughter switched up. She went from a dark-skinned girl to a light-skinned girl, which was crazy. Nobody noticed that.
No, we all noticed it. We just didn't say nothing about it.
But all I'm sitting here saying is, you don't think these shows program people to act, do, and think a certain way? Like, I want my children to go back and watch some of the 90s stuff because it actually will give real depictions about things. But I think somebody, and I'm like, this could be just my conspiracy theory, but somebody in the networks was like, hey, we need more people in this prison. We need more people in this prison life and things like that. So we got to take all this stuff off the air.
This is what I'm gonna say it like this. So we get NWA that comes out, and they're giving an honest depiction of how this is what's going on in our neighborhoods. If you really want to know what's going on, if you really want to see the police brutality, from their lens, they made the music to tell you about it, right? Yeah. We need to cancel that. Why? Because you paint us in a negative light. Governors hopped on, everybody hopped on this bandwagon and burnt CDs, run them over with buses. They did all this stuff to say, no, you in no way will be telling what actually happens, giving a real reality check, a real account of what takes place, because it makes us look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Birth of a Nation. Not the new one, the original with the Ku Klux Klan riding around, saving the chastity of white women, right? History written in lightning, that's coming from the White House. That's what the president at the time said. A false account of what took place, but hey, as long as it makes us look good. So now, you got it where if the minorities say something and it makes you look bad, we cancel it. We got to stomp that fire out. Now you go and you put on television all these shows, and now in today's world, you put on all of the rappers and the singers who to degrade and put down the minorities and, Now we got every girl that you walk across that's 21 and under wanting to be some form of stripper or take
or get butt implants.
Get butt implants. Like telling you that being who you naturally are on a consistent basis it's not enough. You need the Mac and the cover girl because you need to cover up all that you are and be what we want you to be, right? I feel like that's far more damaging to the community than NWA telling you what's actually happening in the community.
Yeah.
So if I can't count on media to tell me what's really going on where I come from, and the artists that come out and they do have something to say about what's taking place, they get canceled. You use your television and your platforms to put, it's a conspiracy. And it's not a theory. It's a fact at this point.
Yeah. You
can't keep telling me that putting down my people, putting down minorities is entertainment. If art imitates life, then vice versa. Life imitates art sometime. And if that's the only thing you see, that's the only thing you ingest, you're gonna be twerking on top of a what is the abortion clinic talking about popping pills and playing bees like candy. If you go talk to the youth of our generation currently, that's how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember you went to high school. Granted, don't get me wrong, you had those outside, the one or two girls who was a little live, but at this point,
everybody's a go live.
And you can tell that from Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Look at your child Instagram.
First of all, look at the shopping section at your local store. I was out there, bro, and I was like, I need to buy shorts for my daughter Paige, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go in the store, I'm looking for shorts. I'm like, why is every pair of shorts in your local Target, Walmart, Nike, all these motherfuckers coochie cutters for a 6-year-old, fam? You playing with me, you think I'm gonna buy that?
Oh yeah, I've seen so many goddamn pairs of shorts. I'm like, no, she can't wear that. No, not that.
And then you try to be like, this ain't gonna work for me. Bro, you gotta get with the times. I don't have to get with the times. I don't have to be desensitized to you hypersexualizing my child. Because I know what that leads to. Like, there should never be a show on television called 16 and Pregnant and glorifying and giving them cars and all kinds of shit. Like, there should not be a gender reveal for a fucking 14-year-old. That's unfucking heard of. Why are we promoting this?
It's crazy.
I'll tell you why. You label it entertainment. The kids see it, they're entertained by it, and I'm entertaining mommy and daddy today. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm gonna go get knocked up and we're gonna try to figure out what the baby is. You gonna buy me a gender reveal cake? Just like my Sweet 16, every female, every young child thought that I'm supposed to get a Hummer for my birthday. Boy, I was happy to get some cake and ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Now every kid need to go to some attraction, some party.
Yeah. I remember when you used to go to a park.
Those park.
Or best thing you do, go swimming.
I remember when you used to go to your dining room table, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, invite your friends over.
Play the game, kick it a little bit, might go outside, play throw tackle.
Yeah.
Was your birthday? Did you have a good time? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had an amazing time, Mom.
If you were lucky, which most black folk didn't do, your friend get to spend the night.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm gonna spend the night.
Your parent be like, I'm gonna extend the offer. Now, if she know like I know, because I know if she asks me to let you spend the night, the answer's no. So most likely,
she gonna say no.
She gonna say no, but I'm gonna extend the offer. Because, hey, you want to do it. Cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Might let you stay an hour or two later than normal. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you ain't staying all night then. That ain't gonna work.
Oh, man.
But what I'm saying is you promoted this falseness, you gotta overspend for this child's birthday if you're gonna have a good time. And not every child expects that. and then you putting yourself in a bind financially because you want to keep up with the Joneses. And you can't tell me that they don't do things like that. You're right, I'm a rapper. You can't tell me that they don't do things like that because one of our favorite pastimes is something that is shown us. If anybody is eating breakfast, breakfast was not a thing. It was created to help meat markets and poultry.
Yeah.
They was like, we having a decline in meat sales. We need to figure this out. This dude went, created trials and all kinds of stuff, and then just false promotion and publicity to build up this idea that health, like the most important meal of the day is breakfast. No, in reality, the most important meal of the day is the one that you eat, regardless if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Yeah.
What did you eat today? That means you stayed alive. Okay? That's the important meal. It's not a segment to where I can only eat waffles, bacon, sausage, ham. Like I can only eat breakfast items at breakfast. If I want the leftovers,
lunch, dinner, whatever I want,
because it's a food. Like food is food. You don't see a line being like, "Oh, I can only eat gazelles after 12. Before that, I need to eat at least a buffalo because buffalo's for breakfast."
Mm-hmm. Buffalo needs out more.
Yeah,
it's healthier.
Lean, it'll get you the energy that you need to get through the day. No, bro. They programmed you to believe this foolishness, bro. And don't get me wrong. I am somebody who enjoys my breakfast just like anybody else. I accept it. Hey, we fell for the okie doke, and what came from it was bacon, eggs, and sausage, and peanut butter, waffle, toast, whatever. I'm with it all. But I also understand what it is. It was somebody who needed to turn a quick buck, so they lied to the world, and we believed it and accepted it and ingested it, and now they getting more money and putting you in a position where you feel like if your kids don't eat breakfast in the morning, you a bad parent.
Yeah.
Cereal, same way. And it's nothing but, at this point, it's nothing but poorly sugared.
Yeah, it ain't even got good sugar.
It ain't got good sugar in it. Took all the flavor. I remember when Trix took the shapes away. I was like, you don't even give me nothing to keep my child creative. They just want to bland, sugar-filled bags of energy running around telling everybody that it's terrible. Whole bunch of red 40 and cadmium yellows and all that. And hyperactive and dysfunctional ADHD children. All right. If you enjoy the show, because we at the end.
Yeah.
Now, I could hit you with that, with them passes, though. I could hit you like that pass. I'm going to get there.
Nah, we ain't going to do it. We ain't going to do it to them. We ain't going to do it to them.
We can increase our female viewership if I just go ahead.
Nah. See, that won't work on one way. You got to start talking real bad about dudes.
You're right. This has been another episode of Something for the People. Oh, damn.
Y'all be easy.